2018 GSL Season 3. This is Rock Shield.
We're back at the GSL Code S already. What time is it? Hold on. To my phone. Jeez, Artos, it's 7:07. We're already
7:07.
We're already past all the videos we did, the intro, and take a best of 3, and now we're going to hop into a GBZ.
Yeah, 7:07, more like 7:47, because we're flying through this night.
Wow. Oh, it's terrible.
Oh, my God.
Okay. ZVZ coming up here now. Our American Protoss has died, but he has a chance to be resurrected in the losers match. Right now it's Impact. Artosis, the Flat Earther, has claimed that Impact is going to get out of this group first. But I actually think it's going to be Reynor. He's looked incredible lately. He's got a good attitude coming into these games.
Oh, absolutely. Reynor is a very big talent. You know, and I'm so excited about Reynor, both here, but especially in the future. I feel like he is not at his peak yet. Absolutely not.
I agree. In fact, I think this is just the beginning.
Yeah.
This is like book 1 in a 7-book series.
This is it is the beginning, because he can just now start playing in tournaments because he just got old enough. Like, I mean, this kid is nowhere near his peak yet, if you ask me. Like, we're going to basically have someone, if he keeps playing like this and keeps practicing hard and taking it seriously, we're going to have a whole slew of Serals, man. It's going to be crazy.
That's right. He's one of our Serals right now.
Yeah. I know there's a movie reference here that I can figure out.
Somehow.
Something about an army of, like, cyborg warriors sent over to Korea or something. I don't know.
A bunch of cyborg European Zerg players who are all pretty young and good.
Jeez.
Okay. It's time, guys. Impact versus Reynor. Now, Impact, this guy, a very storied player, but he's never really made the splash he wanted to make. Still trying. Still grinding, but this is a hell of a group for him.
He is, yeah, it's the group he wanted, and I think for good reason. I think that I'll just shut up and let his play speak for me.
We're going to see if Artosis, who believes in chemtrails, will have an impact to get out of this group. Let's go.
Yep. See? You see this, Tasteless? You watch what I'm watching?
Titan EX1 Impact.
I love that. I've decided you're a conspiracy theorist because you think Impact's going to out of this group.
Yeah.
Like when you talk to me about the games, your eyes are a little bit too big.
I was saying in his group, I thought he'd definitely get out. Wouldn't be surprised if he won. What did he do? He 4-0'd that group?
Exceed Esports. Reynor.
See if he does it again here, Tasteless. Going for that 12 gas, 11 pool. As aggressive as you can possibly get. Reynor going for his expansion. Expo into drone. Into drone! It's 2 drones, Tasteless, before that pool.
I'm getting nervous. That pool's almost done.
Yes. Where's that pool?
Oh, God, get the pool. Reynor! I feel like I need to get a light up here and start flashing Morse code to him.
I was thinking that when Maru moved out, I just
he's looking at me and he's like, doesn't he know I only know the Italian Morse code? And I'm like, oh, shit.
Turn around with a big flashlight, Tasteless, and just shine it in Neeb's eyes. It's like he can't see, but like I'm trying to let him know that Maru's proxying him. Everyone looks up and sees me like, oh, I dropped the flashlight down onto this first floor. Oh,
okay.
No.
Then what happens is you take the flashlight and you point it up over your face to tell a scary story about a young Italian boy who's about to get ling rushed.
Well, we'll see if he can hold.
16.
This is
there is a chance.
This build does not just always kill.
No,
that's
for
sure.
It's not a hard counter, but it's a problem for sure for Reynor. It's one that he's going to have to handle very nicely.
Well, he's going to have to micro basically perfectly from here.
Yep.
He knows that there are lings coming. And he doesn't know 100% that there's a baneling on the way, but you have to assume.
Yep.
There's 2 queens coming.
So drones are going to come down.
Wow, that's a big commitment right there.
Looks like he wants to try to fan him out.
Yeah, he's ready to fight. Look at that. Turns around on a dime here. Really putting pressure on that hatchery. That is a lot of drones that's not mine. Now he sees the banelings. He has to send these all the way back. So that was actually almost completely wasted mining time. If there weren't banelings on the way, then maybe it would have been a bit more helpful. But here we are.
I don't know, dude. This is really bad. Reynor needs to make sure these banelings don't connect to his. Reynor needs to continue. Okay, he needs to just continue to buy time. The drones at home are not yet damaged. Oh, man, that's a pretty big connection. Now the queen comes out, but a good surround here by Impact. And overwhelming numbers coming down here. Now the question is, can he go for the jugular, or does he want to try to come in here and just take out this hatchery?
Well, I think you definitely do finish off the hatchery here, and then see what you can get done.
Now there's a pretty decent wall in here.
Yeah, that's
with
a
all
really
the structures, which makes the banelings not as effective. The queen can still be hit, and it looks like Impact wants to go for a bust here. We see a spine, just now come down. Good block.
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
Well, that's a good split.
Not
no doubt.
bad spreading. Takes 2 baneling hits at this point in the game to kill off a drone. Okay, that actually went really well. Good takeout, though, on the spine. I feel like so much is going on right now.
Yeah,
now, with 2 queens, you can start to target down the banes.
It's such a good SimCity, and there was definitely some good micro on both sides right there.
By the way, it's 12 workers for Impact, 15 for Reynor. So it's not over yet. Impact's going to hide 2 more banelings in the hopes that the attention drawn at the ramp as Impact moves back and forth there will leave an opening in the back of Reynor's base where he can maybe get some kills on those workers.
I love that morph position. Look at that.
Pretty sick.
Yeah, baneling cocoons you don't want to hit with banelings. It's super inefficient, so that's really cool.
This might be the moment, though.
Yeah, he's drawn him to the side. This is where those banelings can come in from the top.
Well, if they move, maybe he wants to wait until a much later point in the game.
Huh. Like really let your opponent build up some confidence?
Yeah.
All right. Well, look at that. He still doesn't know. Oh, my God.
No!
Are you kidding me? Oh, okay. There you go.
Good spot.
Well, those banelings get pretty much wasted. I don't think they're going to end up getting much.
No, they won't do anything. Even
that's scary.
Connect.
Imagine one Muta in there, Tasteless. Oh, my God.
My goodness.
If only he needs to get a Muta with this build.
That's the follow-up.
Oh, God. 3 drones killed. 4. Oh, just barely not 4. Wow.
Almost 4, though.
But, I mean, that was scary for a moment. Good thing that Reynor went and checked that, because that could have been even worse. Okay, some more pressure coming out of Impact.
He's got to be careful. If these lings keep spilling in,
yeah.
he can start to do the amount of damage that the initial baneling was hoping to get. Now he's going to push out here, get a hatch on the low ground. Oh, an attempted snipe there on the drone.
Yeah, the 2 queens really helping Reynor to push this back. Will get his own hatchery going, but the hatchery on the other side for Impact is over halfway done. 23
workers to 17. Reynor's in a tough spot now. This is going to be an uphill fight.
It certainly is.
Well,
down goes the Overlord as well.
The tricky thing is here, even though Reynor didn't win the game, and Impact didn't win the game, and Reynor did survive and hang on. Impact's outgrown Reynor. Now, that being said, I don't think that it's impossible for Reynor to recover. I mean, he wouldn't have gotten this far and had this much success if he wasn't very good and well-rounded in the way he approaches the game. But, I mean, it's going to be tricky, you know? This is tough. Impact is solid enough. He should be able to have a ZDZ Sexton. He just navigates that ship around whatever Reynor does, and then he closes the game.
I think you're basically right about that. Right now, it's interesting to see where Reynor is going with this. I kind of like this, right? Because this isn't what I would necessarily expect out of him. He's getting carapace. So he's going to stay off of that Roach tech, right? That's just kind of focus on Ling Bane, I guess, for a bit. Maybe deny a 3rd base. But the thing is with Impact is he's just going up for layer and getting +1. So it seems like even though this strat is pretty neat that we're seeing out of Reynor, I don't see it actually gaining the types of advantages you're normally looking for with it.
Yeah, it's a cool route that Impact's going for here, though. You know, try to just switch directly into layer. And he could turtle from here if he wants, although it looks like he's not bothered to. You know, if he's going to get the layer and get the range, I wonder if this is almost a deceptive move in of itself because he's not walling off at his entrance.
Yeah.
You know, normally we see some kind of barricade set up to keep it safe. So this kind of creates some build ambiguity until Reynor can spot it. Now, Reynor, in some weird ways, is just going to go take a 3rd base here, as is Impact.
Yeah, and the problem here might end up being, like, you're going to have a decent amount of +1 carapace lings, which really helps a lot against other lings.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a worthless upgrade, but when we have a whole bunch of speed roaches, that's not as much what you were looking for. But he might be able to get up here and force a cancel in the third, and that would be a big moment.
Yeah, it's really one game of pure raw strength here, in this case for Impact, versus mobility for Reynor. The travel distance that Impact has to take to get down across the map to really hurt Reynor is pretty huge. These Lings can basically keep running away for as long as they want. Oh,
yeah, it's
gotta be careful.
A nice micro and all. The Baneling is coming up, trying to hit him.
I'm actually surprised Reynor took this route here. He's going to take a lot of hits.
Yeah, I think he had to try to force a cancel there. It doesn't work out, but a little bit of harassment going on. These are good moves by Reynor. There's no doubt. Like, this is one of the things that he is really good at right now, is these kind of tactical attacks where he's all over the place with the Lings.
It's also kind of crazy when you look at the fact that worker counts are pretty even, but Impact has an insanely bigger army. The only thing that's keeping Impact from actually attacking all the way in here is that Reynor could actually dive into the main or hit that third base and take it out. And so, while this is going on, Reynor needs to build up the defense necessary that if a head-to-head fight comes from Impact, he has the ability to actually shove it back.
All right, Reynor, brace yourself. Here we go. Impact going across the map right now. He has his speed done. He has that +1. +1 is on the way for Reynor. Of course, he has the carapace. He's got a spine coming on the way. Oh, is he not going to attack quite yet? Looks like he turns around for the time being. Drone count is actually even at the moment.
Yeah, it's staying there. Players are beginning to upgrade and move forward here. Again, Reynor has to keep rotating his Lings around. Look for another opening. I think at this point in time, Artosius, Reynor's kind of stabilized. I mean, even if Impact decides to go across the map and attack, I think Reynor could eke out enough attacking units that it would basically match what Impact has by the time the journey was completed there by Impact.
Yeah, we might be at a place very similar to that right now. You know, obviously the speed on the Roaches does help quite a bit, but that +1 carapace helps the stability of those Lings quite a bit. +1 not mattering as much.
Oh,
and now
nice
+1 down for Reynor too.
He actually slipped by those Roaches, pretty cool. Again, we have Overseers coming in through this area constantly, trying to survey and get a read on what Reynor's doing. Again, guys, the strategy that Impact tried early on, even though it didn't win the game, it did what it needed to do. It got Impact into a position. Now Impact's been searching, digging for some kind of a closer, but it doesn't seem like he's been able to find one, and Reynor is continuing to play. He hasn't caught up completely, but he's catching up.
Yeah, like he's
nipping at the heels of Impact.
He's done a lot of good stuff. There's no question there, but his Lings haven't done what he needed them to do.
True.
Definitely the advantage still goes to Impact here. He's definitely still the favorite, and I think that as 2-1 finishes, that becomes a wonderful timing for him, where he's going to be up in attack and up in supply. And at that point, those any Zerglings left over, it looks like he doesn't have many anyways, but those really won't be worth anything.
The thing is, Reynor knows the position he is. He has to keep trying to be ready, to be prepped. And maybe if we get into a long enough game and the inevitable big attack here from Impact comes and Reynor holds it off, then I think he can start searching for answers. And it looks like that moment's about to happen now. Now, the angling here for Reynor is not terrible.
No.
Makes a nice bottleneck there where Impact can't really shove through.
Yeah, this is very tough with double Queen and the Sunken, or the Spine rather, and 4 Ravagers. Like, that's really nice from Reynor.
Now, Impact does what a lot of these Roach v. Roach fight players want to do. They send those few Roaches through into the main and try to draw the main army away.
Yeah, every time that you say Roach v. Roach, because you say it a lot, I feel like this was a legal precedent.
It was in the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
Roach v. Roach got all the way to the Supreme Court.
In Roach v. Roach, we did learn, of course, that the concave is superior to the convex.
The convex, yes. It was settled there. And to this day, casters still go back and cite that one moment in Roach v. Roach.
Now look at this. Speed Baneling upgrade here for Impact. So that's a very old style that it looks like he's going for. And I think this is because he's maxing out first. So he'll lose a few extra units and then do a max with lots of Speed Banes in there and just try to punch his way through Reynor. I'm kind of surprised to see it, because this was actually, if I recall correctly, it was a few years ago. It was pretty popular in Europe, not Korea.
He's coming in now. Really good angling here by Reynor, but Impact may have enough. He's trying his best. He's actually got a nice surface area over here to continue to push forward. He's actually going to try to close in on these Ravagers. More roaches are coming back. A lot of these corrosive biles, where they connect is very important. Additional roaches here from Impact coming here from the north. Does Reynor have enough to hang on? He's got a lot more roaches about to hatch, about 18 of them coming out right now.
Yes, indeed. And he has the Spire finishing up, so if he ends up holding on and stabilizing, maybe he can get some extra value with that.
Yeah, and hold on, he does, at least for now, Artos. There's some more Ravagers coming up here, but Impact's fourth base is about to finish, where Reynor doesn't have one. But that fourth base hasn't kicked in yet, so it's still economically a fairly even fight. Let's see if the next attacker from Impact can do enough.
Yeah, well, Impact right now, he's trying to get through. He is down in drones. He's playing a very aggressive game, as he's wont to do. Here we go, pushing forward right now. Reynor pulling his drones. That's how you really know he's in trouble.
We have a few additional roaches coming out. It's not clear it's going to be enough, especially with reinforcements from the direct north coming in here now. It looks like Impact's actually wedged his way in between the second and the third base and is beginning to close in, taking everything out. GG. Impact takes game one.
Yeah, some strong aggressive play with some quality continued pressure here. Yeah, from Impact. Throughout that game, I thought that Reynor really held his own when he was behind and had some really great ideas on how to come back. But when you get into a position like that, it becomes very difficult. Like you were saying, and I think that this was a really great saying by you, Tasteless, where you were like, "You're so smart, Artos." I'm like, "Yeah, thanks." No, when you mentioned that, like, he kind of should have a roadmap on how to win from here when you get that type of advantage, right? And that's kind of what we saw out of Impact.
Yeah, I mean, when Impact strategy works on you at that point in time, the ZVZ game is kind of a haunted house here for Reynor, where every turn there should be something to surprise him or stop him or chase him away. Again, though, you can't talk about that at the end of that game without talking about the beginning. I think if Reynor can have a better opening, where he can get to the kind of game he wants to play, he should be in good shape. And this is game 2 now, going on to Dreamcatcher again. If Impact wins here, he goes on to face off against Maru. If Reynor wins, we're tied up 1-1.
Match 2. Fight! Titan EX1. Impact.
Opening aggressive in game 1, but not here. Pulling it back a bit.
Got to have that rotation in your builds.
Exceed Esports. Reynor.
Excited to see. Well, we have something going on here. Now, this is the real strat, okay? You open up with the 12 gas 11 pool Ling Baneling rush, right?
Yeah.
And that throws your opponent off mentally. Now we're on a bigger map. We're on Dreamcatcher, okay? This is going to be somewhere Reynor's feeling a bit better. There's a lot of different paths for him to utilize things like Zerglings that he's very good at. There's the more defendable ramp up to your natural, things like that. So what do? You pause. Throw him off his rhythm. What do you think about that, Teesus?
I think he's got a problem with the sound.
I think you're right. Yeah. Looks like that's what they're talking about.
What kind of, I just found out his audio issues. God, I'm good.
You're so good, Teesus.
That's why I cast with a Magic 8 Ball. I've got these powers. Okay, so let's see what kind of game, since it's not going to be a super rush game early on. I want to see how Reynor is against Impact in a ZVZ, because Impact is a great Zerg. He's not the greatest Zerg in GSL, Codas.
No.
He's definitely one of the stronger players. I'd say he's in the lower half of the tier system here in GSL.
He's been a top 5 Zerg for quite some time. Yeah, Ryung and Patience.
Ryung's spotted. Oh, yeah, and there's Patience right over there in the audience. He's getting a pat on the head. Patience says, don't do that. That's weird. But, yeah.
Like, Patience, give Impact back his glasses. But,
a lot of people with their signs initially upside down today. Notice this.
Well, it's like looking into a mirror, right? You see yourself on the big screen, you're like, I don't know, is this upside down or not? Which side is the left side of my face?
Congrats, Kim and Vince.
All right.
See, now there's some Reynor support. We know whose side he's on. It's a simple, it's like minimalism in a cheerful.
Go Reynor.
We fixed it, guys.
Perfect.
Perfect? I don't know about perfect, but it's fixed. It's good enough. How about I say that? Good enough.
Fair. We'll go with that.
That's our attitude here at Freaking TV is good enough.
The tasteless seal of approval.
That's right.
Tasteless tested for quality
Put that
broadcasting.
On my tombstone. Good enough. Yeah.
I love it. Oh, never mind.
We get C's all the way through school. In the age of 16, I was silver. I was proud of it.
And now that he's 17.
Yes.
Well, what do you think? It's a bigger map. Obviously, it's not an aggressive opening here.
Yes. I agree with that. Artosis, do you have more to ask me?
No, I was just reading the sign.
One players?
Bigger map, and do you think that Reynor is vastly favored here if it's a more macro-esque opening? Everyone says that Impact is a cheeser. He plays aggressively. There's no question that he does.
I actually feel like cheese has been just misused so horribly. When people talk about, we almost need to go back and kind of sand down the edges on the terms, like the lexicon that we have here in RTS, because cheese doesn't mean what everybody thinks it does. Like if you attack early, that's not cheesing. Oh, it's a honeymoon.
This is the best place you could be.
This is the best place you guys could possibly be. So thank you for coming down.
You know that they will be together
great.
forever.
Kisses here. Artosis, now kiss me. Oh, we got babies here. There's feelings. There's so many emotions everywhere, guys.
Well, that baby.
We're barely gonna get through this. Okay. There's people in love. There's new babies coming here. Oh my God. It's too much.
We even had that sign for that baby too.
That's right. That baby is going to wake up and be like, I get ZVZ.
The baby's cheering for Reynor, no doubt.
That baby's learning about letters and is like, I don't know, but when you put two of these letters and put a V in between them, it means you got to watch out for aggressive attacks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought when you were going for two letters,
but the baby can't articulate it yet.
Yeah.
Can't articulate it yet, you know.
Tough, okay, so these builds are deviating a little bit here. Both of them walling in, going for layer, but +1 melee over here for Reynor. So that's pretty cool to see, especially when you see that you have your evolution chamber up there upgrading and you're making a Roach Warren. That really makes you think it's going to be something like Roach Speed. But I think what we're going to see, Tasteless, might be Aspire. What do you think?
I'm keen. I'm down for that.
You're not keen, you're Tasteless. King's in Group D.
Oh, that's right. I have castered, what is it?
Dyslexia?
Dyslexia? No, it's not dyslexia. I was going to say dysmorphia. I'm like, that's not it either. I have castered dysmorphia when I rewatched my old broadcast. Yeah. I'm like, oh, this is horrible.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
When I watch your old podcast, I think that too.
Yeah.
But okay, let's see if he goes for that Spire. Yeah, he's going to go for the Spire 100%. There it is.
God, you're good.
Yeah, that's really cool because it looks like it's a Roach play, right? So the third base coming up, but actually there's like +1 for Lings, so Lings are going to be very useful here, and then the Spires, oh man, I love the strategy from Reynor. I think this is brilliant, and in fact, this is how Scarlet took down, or very similar at least, to how Scarlet took down Serral on Dreamcatcher at Valencia.
That's right. This is going to be a much different ZVZ, by the way, than we saw last time. This is kind of the fun thing about ZVZ is that the matchup can go in such different directions.
Yeah, you know, this is actually a really funny thing where ZVZ, you and I actually really like ZVZ in StarCraft 2.
Unlike all the other casters.
No, all the other casters don't want it, and it's like, guys, this is a great matchup. We actually enjoy this matchup. It's actually really fun. I like the little differences that you see all the time. And, like, I love clever builds. Like, when you get in a quick evolution chamber, anytime there's a quick evolution chamber, like, ooh, yeah, okay. Like, what's this for?
This is fun.
Yeah.
It's so fun to play like this.
Okay, here come those +1 Lings.
Okay,
good
looking
placement.
for an opening. Blocked on both sides there.
Yeah. It's not the end of the world, though.
Question is, okay, so the Overseer is going to see the... Wait, it is, right?
He doesn't see it yet. He has to go north.
Oh. Is it further over here on the right? Nope, I guess that's the end of the map.
Oh. Was that a creep tumor? I think he lost a tumor there to the
Wow, that's
rocks.
an epic way to lose it.
But yeah, Impact's actually going for his own Spire
Oh, this
here,
is actually really
I think
weird.
He doesn't know for sure.
No, well, he for sure doesn't know because That just seems like one of the worst things you could do is to go for a Spire after they get a Spire, like right afterwards.
Okay.
He's like, nope.
Now he sees it. How does he play this? Okay, some spores going up, but he doesn't cancel his Spire.
Yeah, that's what I was watching.
But you could do this too, right? Because you never go from mutas. You go from mutas into roaches. But if you're doing in the middle of the transition, your opponent has banked a bunch of gas and can make more mutas than you have.
I guess that's one way to do it. The thing is, well, then now it's a StarCraft 1 ZVZ all of a sudden, but let's see, though. I mean, the thing is, already the damage is going to be dealt here pretty quickly. Now, this is 3 queens. Nice targeting here with the transfuses.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we have a couple of good transfuses, but it's just buying a little bit of time. I'm surprised there wasn't a spore at the third.
Oh, the Lings are going to go inside the natural.
Sick
they can get in the main as well.
Oh, that's huge right now. There are roaches going across the map, and there's some roaches coming up here trying to clear this, but those are +1 links, so they're going to do good damage.
Looks like that Spire finishing isn't going to help very much, Artosis.
No.
We have these mutas coming down here to try to defend some, I don't know if this is going to really do as much. The problem is mutas don't kill roaches very quickly.
Yeah, they don't, but this isn't that many roaches. When we talk about mutas not killing roaches quickly, it's because there's 40 of them.
Yeah, this is
here it's 8.
about a dozen or something coming in.
Yeah.
We'll settle on 10. How about that?
Okay.
Those roaches then go down, and so the mutas are going to go
You're such
out.
a diplomat,
I know.
Tace. This is amazing.
They call me the negotiating
It's so
caster.
easy to work with you.
I don't know what the out is now here, because the Spire finished, and he's like, well, that was just for looks.
Yeah,
And so now he's going to get the Hydra Den.
Reynor saw the Spire. He's just sitting on mutas and making carapace, which would be how you destroy someone else going mutas.
Whoop, that's it.
Yeah. Can't
Tap
blame
out.
him there. That was something went wrong, right? He scouted the mutas only when they attacked his Overseer, but it seemed like his response wasn't that good, really. Like, he made 2 spores, but not a third.
Yeah.
You have to make that third spore, or you need to do a pretty heavy roach attack to make the mutas stay home. So yeah, that was tough.
So we saw in that game, if Reynor is not heavily interrupted by a rush from Impact, it seems like Reynor really does understand the landscape of his ZVZ, how to drive the game to the direction he wants to get it into. And by the way, Impact's responses when the game was normal seemed really off. It was almost like Impact was doing, the waltz, and Reynor was like breakdancing or something.
Yeah.
They weren't. Impact was not responding to what Reynor was doing.
Yeah,
and we even saw that Spire finish, and he's like, oh gosh, this is useless. Goes for a Hydra Den, and then he's like, okay, get me out of this game.
Yeah.
Get me out. Let's go to Lost and Found. But Impact having success with the rush in Game 1, does he want to try to do that in Game 2? And if he does, is that obvious to Reynor?
A lot of questions, Tasos. They can only be answered one way in game number 3 on Lost and Found. Let's go.
Titan EX1 Impact.
I tell ya, I'm liking this series right now a lot. Look at that pool. This quick pool.
Exceed Esports. Reynor.
This is the type of thing where you just get the hat trick. You're not getting the gas, you're not getting speed, you're not getting banelings.
It's a very different type of rush.
Yeah. It's a more economic one for Reynor.
This is a cheese. No. Don't just throw cheese around.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm one to speak. Anyone knows who watches me play StarCraft, but it's true. It's true.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for coming down. Lovely audience here today.
Yeah, big
Glad
audience.
to see so many people came down today.
Well, they should. This is a sick
yeah.
group. It's like,
what the viewers
first off,
at home
you got
don't know
Impact,
is
one of the best Zergs, right? Then you also have a 2-time champion and 2 foreigners, which, that's all really great.
It's a pretty good day. Let's just see. Oh, I want one of our non-Koreans to get out. I think it's going to happen. It's actually weird because I don't really want to root against Maru because that's such a good storyline too.
Yeah. Well, at this point, I really want Maru to win GSL Code S again. I really do. I want to have this weird thing where like only 2 people win all the tournaments all year, and then one of them takes down BlizzCon, and I'm like, all right. They beat Leenock in the finals. I'm like, ooh, that was well done.
Okay, so the Lings are here. Now, this is a rush that's engineered to kill the hatch.
Yeah. Let's see. He has a few more Lings coming up. He's just really focusing on that hatchery. We'll see.
So,
now, yeah, he's pulling the drones.
Look at how he skips to the right.
Yeah.
You could even see Reynor's trying to feign it. Oh, hold on.
Ooh, good. There's good and bad micro here.
Okay, this somehow ended up completely even with 15 workers on each side.
Now, this is actually a really good learning point, right? Because we were talking about how in the previous game that Reynor didn't know that there were banelings, right? And the drones came down because he thought it could be a build like this. Oh my god, that's way more damage now. Oh man. Oh, that was a good save. Anyways, going back to that, right?
Yeah.
That's... it's really cool, right? Because this time the drones came down and there weren't banelings, so he's able to save the hatchery. That's the big difference that we saw.
Get out of there! Okay, that's actually huge.
That's
Impact is supply blocked now.
He has lost so many overlords in this series so far. Reynor is so on top of that.
Yeah.
He hates his opponent's overlords.
He's angry at them. Oh, that one gets away. Good job, Reynor. That's actually very important, guys. This phase is EVZ. If you lose one overlord and your opponent doesn't,
it's a big deal.
Big moment here.
Now, Impact does have Zergling's speed, but this is definitely defended well enough. Impact has to catch up on drones. He is droning pretty heavily, and of course forcing some lings out by showing this pressure. There's not a ton of Reynor scouting in front of Impact's base because he did push out that overlord so far. So it's hard for him to know when he can stop exactly.
Okay, Extractor's going down. And you can see Impact's going to try to come in here and wipe out a few workers. It's not really doing that much. In fact, a lot of these lings are taking quite a beating.
Yeah.
You know, Reynor just sort of tucked back here. By the way, the 2 gases there. Kind of cool. It's not in the main at all.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
That is interesting, right?
Because you see, this looks like it could be a super techie build here.
Yeah, like,
oh, denied.
If you're going up towards Spire, you probably are going to have 3 gases until the Spire starts normally.
Just to reiterate, guys, if you look at the mini-map, Reynor never took any gases in his main. But this could look like he might have 4 gases or something really weird, right?
You're not letting him know too much.
Reynor, a really smart player. Back over here, we see that Impact's taken 1 gas and is teching up to layer.
Yeah, where is he going to go with that layer? Do you think we're going to see Muta again? I do.
I think so.
Oh, yeah. He starts...
I should have waited 1 second away.
Yeah, well, he starts the +1 range. What can you do? Look at that, +1 melee for Reynor once again. He is a very good Zergling user.
Well, he's good at sniping those third bases, and if not that, then getting in the main or the natural on taking out drones and queens.
Yeah. Looks like this game is kind of like game 1 in some ways, right? It's Zergling-based upgrades for Reynor, whereas probably Roach speed will be coming up immediately for his opponent.
Good ling run by here.
Yeah, sees a layer on the way. Don't believe he saw it start, so he doesn't really know when it's coming.
Oh, this is kind of a funny looking moment here.
By
and
drone.
Whoa, wow, whoa.
Look at that.
Could make a movie about that drone. So the hatchery's going to go down here at third base. Eventually.
You know what, Tasteless? You wouldn't be the greatest director, but you would definitely be better than Michael Bay, okay?
Oh, I would take that. I definitely made the Ninja Turtles look like that, Artosis, and destroy an entire childhood of a generation.
So, the Zergling +1 melee still coming through. The Roach speed on the way. They're going to be finishing here for Reynor.
Okay, Reynor's now out on the map with these lings. They're going to have that, you know, with the +1 attack. This keeps Impact at a very defensive position. Well, in fact, I don't see anything to defend at all over here.
Where's his units?
Where is anything, actually?
Oh my god.
Uh-oh. Finish what I started.
Oh my god.
Wow. Okay, well, this is one way to do it. He just pops the natural expansion. There's nothing anywhere.
Does he just not have a unit?
Huh.
What's his... But Impact has army supply.
Yeah, that's what's confusing about it. It's 28.
Where is it? Anyways,
I actually don't know what...
Wait, when we just saw Vision, did he see the Spire? I was like too busy looking at the minimap. I'm like, is he doing a counterattack? Anyways, there is a Spire that's going to be finishing soon here for Impact. Obviously, losing that natural was no good for him. Yeah, I mean, we don't see any spores yet. You wouldn't need to start them quite yet. He has that timing down.
Okay,
kind of just holding my breath looking for spores to start for Reynor here. Obviously, Reynor has a very good
I think you could possibly spot it now.
Yeah. Okay, he's getting a Hydralisk Den, and he will spot the Spire. There's no mutas actually being made, though.
You need confirmation of that. You're right there, Tosis. No mutas yet. You know, losing one of those hatcheries is such a hiccup, because it's not just about mining that expansion. I mean, that's your production facility.
Yeah, that's very
true. One of
your
3 production facilities, so...
It's actually a big issue here.
It's also kind of funny because this whole game started out with that hatchery being attacked. And
yeah. This is,
ways, go ahead.
I'm feeling this game right now pretty heavily for Reynor, to be honest. Like, there are some promising things coming out of Impact, right? He's got a slight army advantage here. He's getting his +2 range, so that's kind of nice. He already has that upgrade. The Lurker Den. That is a scary one when you're going roaches, and if I know Impact, I know he's not really wanting to go beyond that roach tech.
Yeah, I think you're right, Artosis. Reynor really gearing up, growing. I do like the tech choice here overall better for Reynor. He seems like he's one step ahead. But, you know, here with Impact, he's sitting here, powering up. He's finally got that 3rd hatch back up.
I'm still confused about that natural dying. Like, where were his units? Where were they truly?
Well, I was looking everywhere on the minimap. I did not see a counterattack, unless I really just missed something. There was just nothing anywhere.
It's like they were off on a corner of the map where their cell phones just didn't have reception or something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even... It's like, we're just watching the Lings just wreck everything.
I don't know. That was really strange, though.
Yeah.
Under attack.
So, he's already got Hydras up. With the Lurkers out, it's going to be much tougher for Impact to stop Reynor from pushing anywhere specific. Once Reynor gets that position set up, it's almost as though Impact has to just respect it.
Yeah, and here's the thing, too, right? There's 6 Lurkers that just got started. Impact actually has an army advantage until those are done. He's moving out now, but this might be just too late. If he had hit before that, the thing is, he doesn't know the exact timing of what's going on here, right? This is pretty quick Lurkers. You don't see this as much in Korea. But,
okay, try to break me.
Yeah, that's tough.
So there's a second chunk of the army that's down here at the bottom. Now, Reynor has a counterattack force headed over here towards the center right base, the 3rd base here of Impact. There's not that much to defend here. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. He's just a hatchery-killing machine.
Yeah. He's like, I don't want you to have this anymore. All right, what else is here? Queens?
Oh, my God. Yeah, I mean, he's going to lose a lot of roaches there, but he's got Lurkers for defense, so...
What a funny way to close this out here for Reynor. You know, normally it's all about all these big fights, but Reynor says, no, you know what? You probably don't have enough to really deal with this.
Is there... Like, he's getting... I don't know. There's still a chance here for Impact, for sure.
There is. I mean, you know, one of the mistakes that can happen when you start to just try to right-click on hatcheries like this is you end up losing enough of your army that the counterattack can really hurt you. But there are Lurkers in this game.
Yeah.
Which makes that math a little bit fuzzy as far as counterattacks go.
Very much so.
Reynor, if he's already defending that position, he has what he needs over there. Okay,
he's throwing down a bile. Oh, God, those Lurker spines are way too much. Oh, he took so much damage on that army.
You can try to corrosive bile that all you want, but that's a lot of damage you have to do before that Lurker's actually gone.
Yeah, they're even an army at this point, too.
Yeah.
So...
Again, though, Impact only on, well, 2 bases, soon to be 3, but he doesn't even have a 4th yet. And Reynor's already solved that problem. Reynor's growth is probably just going to be too big here.
Yeah, when you see this situation specifically, it's basically the Roach Ravager player trying to bile Lurkers and then eventually dying. So definitely not feeling too hot about Impact's prospects here.
Okay, more corrosive biles come out, but really Impact, no pun intended, he's having absolutely no impact on Reynor at this point in time. He's not stopping him. He's trying to play around this here. Now, here's an attack that might actually work here from Impact, as he's going to hit from multiple sides here. With the Overseers on top, he can take out these Lurkers. Is this the victory that Impact needs, though? Reynor's already maxed out again. He's got 60 more roaches on the way. And winning a fight off of the crepe of Reynor is certainly not going to cut it.
No, this is, like, that was not enough. You ask the question, and I'll give you the answer here. Impact just has barely anything left.
Well, it's funny. You see Impact win one small fight, he pushes a little bit further, and then you look at the actual supply, and Impact he's starving right now. as far as a proper army. In fact, once Reynor's got the rest of his units out of the hatchery, he comes in here, he's going to wipe out the rest of these Ravagers, and another tap out, GG. It's going to be Reynor versus Maru in the winner's match.
Yeah, that is quite a match coming up, actually. I cannot wait. Let's get through this commercial break. I'm like, no, Maru, sit down. Reynor, stay in your seat.
Reynor putting his shoes back on.
The winner of Maru Reynor goes through to that next round. Reynor definitely looking really strong in those ZVZs. I think Impact definitely had some good moments and some bad moments in the ZVZs overall. I mean, this is a good group today, Tasteless. Even Impact Neeb is going to be quite a nice series.
I'm looking forward to that. We're going to go to a short break, everybody, and when we come back, Maru versus Reynor. Do not go to sleep. Do not go away. We'll be back.